Hello everyone, welcome to this learning session. Today we are going to see about data entity in the Dynamics Finance and Operation. If you are wondering about what is data entity, it's nothing that the process of exporting or importing the data from the table from one entity to another entity. So kind of we can have a relationship in the two data entity like a sales process. You can say sales process need to have in relationship between the two entity that we are going to show in this session. We will continue the session, then you will understand deeply, and might you have raise some questions, we can go through for it. So first we will open the Visual Studio. I hope everyone has the Visual Studio in your system. So first, once you run the Visual Studio, you will create a new project, but we will try to create a continue without the code. Click the continue without the code. Once you have this window, you have to create or check the model, like which model we need to create an extension or referring the packages. So basically, you will go on extensions on Dynamics 365 and model management, right? So here you can create a model or update the model. Just create a model. It will time to load. Just try to, this is a lesson for MB500. We will type MB500 lab exercise. Okay, the model publisher will be, the model name you can name it as a MB500 model. Okay, model publisher will be Microsoft Training. Model display name is MB500 lab exercise. Click next. So click create a new package, like creating a model that builds into own assembly as and is deployed separate package. So we need to have a separate package. So click next, and you need to refer some packages because predefined packages will, like you can say packages or model will help us to build our application. So choose application foundation. Application platform is there. Choose application foundation also, as well as application suite and also retail. You can search here the keyword retail and you will find it. Select and click next. Sometimes it takes times because of the system speed. So choose the project name as project 4 because this is a fourth session. and the solution name can be related to that. So click create. Okay, now we can see the project has been created under the solution. We will open the notepad and we will see what are the exercise we are going to cover, so it will be a better understand. So what we are doing here, like creating a composite data entity. So for the first steps, what we done is create a model and project, right? Okay, it's simple and straightforward what we done. And the second thing is like working with data models. So now the first task is to create a new data entity. Okay, so for that we are creating a data entity from the data model, like pre existing data model. So for that, just you need to open the application explorer, and then under the data model you have to select retail, go to the table, expand the table, and select retail color group table. Okay, if you type it very fast, the keyword, the table name, it will select it automatically. If you type it here also, enter a filter query also, it will find out, but sometimes it will take time. Just expand this one. Okay, retail color group table. Okay, now just right click, simply right click, and select the view designer. Then it will open in the element designer pane. Yes, this is the element designer pane. In that the original table has been created. Okay, now right click on the root node. Okay, and click add-ins and create a data entity. Okay, now you can see the difference in the right hand side. Like you can see the all the data entity has been created with staging table, security, artifacts. So click OK. You can see the right hand side, the data entity, and the element also retail color group table entity has been created. This is automatically creating when you right click and create an entity. Okay, now the second thing, it's simple as it is. We have to create another data entity from different table group. Okay, so first we created a one table, we select the table and we create a data entity from this table. The same thing, we'll select the another table and create another data entity. Then we can transfer the data between the data entities. Okay, this will be helpful on the reporting section also. So you can write it here. The third step is like create a new data entity. Okay, from another table. Okay, so in this one, as usual, you can select from the retail color group trans. This is the table. So just what we can do, like we will add a relationship between the table data entity by creating like color group header table. Okay, we will see that one. So right click, and as usual click the view designer, then it will open in the element designer pane. Sometimes the VM responding slow. Okay, now the so as usual what you will do that right click on the node and select add-ins and create a data entity. So it should create another entry here, the same as we said before, like data entity security privileges tables has been created for this table also. Click OK. Now in the same table, now this is the second table, right? Now we are trying to make a relationship. Okay, now we are trying to make a relationship. So here, as we said, like we need to make a relationship between this two entity which we created. First one is a retail color group table entity, and the second one is a retail color group trans entity. That's what we are going to make a relationship between these two entity. So for that, just double click the first one and it will open the element designer. So where it's open the element designer here. Now we are going to make a relationship between the this table to the trans entity table. So that's what how we are making to do this data entity, because we are not doing on the original table, like we are not going to the original table. We create a data entity. Okay, so for each original table, and that day from the data entity we are going to create a relationship. Okay, so now right click on the node, click new relation. Okay, now go to the properties of this pane, simply press alt enter. You will get this one here. You can expand it. So let me scroll it down. Go to the related data entity here. Okay, select the retail color group table. So that means we created this uh, table data entity from this table. So we are just trying to relate the data entity from where it is, the original table. So it's just simply type retail color group table. Okay, and the name retail color group table entity, and the cardinality is 0 more. Like there is a details, like if you don't know about this cardinality, like how is the relationship between this table to another table, right? Like uh, 0 to 1, exactly 1, 0 to more, and 1 to more. I will explain you about this one. It's a it's a kind of relationship between this two or more tables. Let me explain about the 0 1 concept. The 0 1 means like it's a relation between the parent and the child. When you consider like this, like parent may have one relation with the one record. So may they do have one or they don't have it. So example, let's say like the person may have like passport, the person maybe doesn't have the passport also in the second table. So that's called like 1 0 to 1. Okay, so if you go for the second one, exactly 1. Let's say the example is like in the parent table, if you have a sales order. Okay, let's sales order number, the second table, it will exactly match with the one customer, because sales order number can reflect only one customer only. You cannot have like two customers having the same sales order number. So that is what it means, exactly one. So one unique number with related to the one record. Zero to more concept is like uh, one record can relate to many records in the second table. So example, like one under one person, you can have a more quotations if you want to speak about the uh, sales in the CRM. One salesperson, under one salesperson or one company name, you can have a many quotations number reference. They can have a many quotations. That's what you can say. I can more related to one on more or zero on more. So one on more is the similar like from the parent table you have a connection, related record on second table, more records, or either the second table have only one relation record in the first table. So here in this concept we are going to select 0 to more. Okay, and then related data entity cardinality will be 0 to 1. So here I will explain you what about this related data entity cardinal means. With this said, like 0 to 1 means it will the same concept of it will have one record matching with the same record. Sales ID, example, the sales ID, it will have the relation to the salesperson one record only. Whether it will have one or it doesn't have one. Exactly one means it should match with the sales ID with that sales customer. So the same reverse, vice versa also. One customer will have the one sales ID number only. So sales quotation now, sales order number only. So that's what is mentions related data entity coordinate. So select here we have to select 0 to 1, and relationship type of relationship. Here also we have to choose association. Okay. Next you have to right click the relation. We have created the relation, right? So right click the relation and click new and click the normal relation. We are going to choose a normal relation. Okay, so between the retail color group table entity for this one to the retail color group table, right? This is where we duplicated the created the data entity from this table group, okay. Now go to the properties of this new normal relation, press alt enter. I think I can make it this one as a big, because sorry, we can make it, okay. So here in the field name we can make a color group. I think if it is there already, yeah, color group. And related field, because the relationship what we are doing for the color only, that's what I said before. So which field you are going to relate, you can choose that field. Okay, example, let's say here in the field, if expanded, The field group is color group. We have a field, so that's what I choosing here. It's a field. Okay, the related field also you can choose the color group, because this is what we are going to relate it between the two table. And then you can see the relationship between, just I want to show you clearly. See this one, retail, the relationship like look like that. Retail color group table entity dot color group equal to retail color group table dot color group. This is what the relationship will look like. Okay, now just try to save this one. Okay, now we will go to the third step, sorry, fourth one, which is like working with staging table. Okay, working with the staging table. In this solution explorer, we will locate the retail color group table staging. Okay, retail color group table staging. So why we are going to choose this one, as you want to know that we need to, like, move the data between the entities. Okay, that's the main purpose of the data entity, right? So before we created the two entity, right? We before the created the two entity, and we choose the first entity, and we create a normal relationship between the related table entity. Okay, this is the related table entity. And then what we're going to make, we we transfer the data. We need to make the movement, data movement. Okay, and to store in the temporary location staging. It's called, this table staging is called storing in temporarily. It will not a permanent. Okay, so this table is look like this one in the application, but this is a permanent table where the data is stored, but this is a temporary storage location. It will store while on the live process, you can say, and then once it transferred, it will be empty, just for the transferring purpose only. It's a data movement. Okay, so here double click and open the table staging. It will open in the element designer. Then right click the field, just expand. You can see so many fields are there already. We will create a two field now. Okay, one field will add as a integer. Okay, one field name called, rename it row id. Another one field name called parent row id. Now save this one. Now we'll go for the another exercise step, fifth one. Before that, we need to do the another step staging also. We need to create same for the trans staging also. Okay, so we need to do for the trans staging also. Just right click. Okay, open in the element designer. Do the same thing again here also. Right click on the field, create the same row id, and another one is the parent row id. Okay, now right click the relationship node and create a new relationship. So here in the groups table staging, just double click and I will show you. Here already you can see there is a relationship showing here. Okay, now the same thing, we need to create a relationship here also. Right click the relations, create a new relation. Okay, and change the relation properties. Detail color, group table staging, and the related table should be same, retail color group table staging. Retail color group table staging. Here the okay, related table cardinality will be 0 1. Obviously the cardinality will be 0 to more, 1 to more records. Relationship type will be association, what we described before. And then this is the important thing goes on delete, like it indicates how deletions in the main table are handled in the related table. Like there is a cascade, restricted, cascade, restricted. There's a three options there. So to make you understand better, we can explain from the cascade. And just imagine that you have a two table. Okay, just imagine you have a two table, like one is the customer table and another one is called what you can say, order table. Yeah, okay, so there is a two table is there. Okay, the relationship between the two tables, you can say that a unique uh, field is called customer id. Customer id, okay, so customer id is a unique id, and here we'll have a another field called customer number. Okay, so if you set anything on the customer record, like it's a parent, customer is a parent table and order is the child table. Okay, this is the unique key, and you can say unique key, and this is one is a foreign key. Foreign key, let's say if you set the permission cascade on the parent table, what will happen if you delete any record from the parent table? What are the record related to the unique id to the foreign key record, it will delete. So it will delete the entire row. So it means when you delete anything record from the customer table, it will automatically delete the record from the child table also. That's called cascade. Okay, let's say if you want to what is that, another one, where is on delete, yeah, here, restricted. If you want to talk about restricted, so restricted kind of, let's say the same scenario. If you delete anything record from the customer table called parent table, it won't delete. It will give you a warning that there is a related record is available in your child table. Please delete the record from the child table, then delete the parent record. So it's kind of a restriction on the selected table. So you can't delete the data directly, record directly from the parent table. It will give you warning. First go to the child record and delete the record from the child table. So that's what restricted functions will work. The third one is kind of tricky to understand, cascade restricted. So what it means cascade restricted? Let's say you will have another table also called, let's say, like person table. Okay, person table. So here we have, like, person ID. ID is the field name. Okay, so it's have a unique key, and this is the foreign key for this table. For the first table, it's a foreign key, but this is the unique key on this table, customer table. And the order table, it's a foreign key from the customer table. It means this is table number 1, table number 2, and table number 3. So when you set the first table, person table, as cascade restricted, the third option, what it will means, if you go to the second table and delete the record, any record, it will give you warning that you should have uh, find the record in the child table and delete the record from the child table before you are deleting from the customer table. Okay, so that's what cascade restricted, the third option, cascade restricted. So from the second table, if you delete anything, it will ask you to delete from the child table first. But if you delete from the main table, person table, it won't ask any warning. It will delete entire record which is related to the unique key. So it will delete the record from the person table, customer table, and order table. So that's what means it's a cascade restricted. Okay, so here we need to make a cascade, like just to, if you delete from the child table. Hope you understand. Now right click the relation, retail color group table staging. Now create a normal relations. We have to create a 3 normal relations. Okay, first one is the click normal relation. Okay, and then the field name you can give color group, as you know, and related field also will be a color group. Okay, now again, second normal relation. Here the field name will be definition group. Same, the related field will also be a definition group. Okay, the third normal relationship, and change the field to execution ID, and the related table field also execution ID. So you can see the relationship will look like this. Retail color group trans staging color group equal to color group table staging dot color group. Okay, so now save it all. Now the last step would be, now we are creating the new composite entity. Okay, so what it means, like it will combine the both the entities into single element. So we created two entity, right? So all the entities will be a one element. How we will create a, we will see that one. Just minimize, go to the solution folder. Okay, now right click on the project, click new add item, go to new item, and under the Dynamics 365 go to Composite data model. Here composite data entity. Okay, create a composite data entity view. Here, like we what you are going to have for this color group, right? So we can create as a MB color group composite entity and click the add button. You can notice that there is a new folder called AX composite data entity view created with the element called MB color group composite data entity. So we are going to combine this two entity into a single element. Okay, open that single element newly created, open in the element designer. Okay, now change the properties of this one, change the label as color group composite entity. Okay, so right click on that node and click new root data entity reference. Go to the properties pan. Here change the name to retail, double click, delete, retail color group table entity. The same here also. We can search it. Now right click on the retail group table entity, select a new embedded data entity reference. In the properties pane, select the data entity called the second entity, the group transist. Retail color group. Before we selected a table entity, right? Now transist entity. Okay. The name will be retail color group trans entity, and relation also the same. Retail color group table entity. Save it all. Now we'll do the build. We'll do the testing phase. So once we done everything, we'll do the testing. Go to the solution explorer. Right click on the project. Build. So the build is started now. We'll see if you do have any error or not. The build is running now. So in the meantime, try to open the browser. Let me see if it is login to the cloud dynamics fno page or not. If not, I need to re-sign in.